Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Miami Arena in Miami, Florida. And right now they are introducing all of the lineups, and you are just in time to catch the starters for Houston.
At the other forward, right number 33 at 6'10" from Providence, Otis Thorpe. Starting at center, right number 34 at 7 feet from Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon. At one guard, right number 21 at 6'3" from Georgetown, Floyd. And at the other guard, right number 42 at 6'5" from Indiana, Mike Woodson. The head coach of the Houston Rockets is Don Chaney. His assistants are Carol Dawson, John Kellaway, and Rudy Tomjanovich. The trainer is Ray Melchiori. And now tonight's starting lineup for your Miami Heat. At one forward, rank number 42 at 6'9" from Cincinnati, Pat Cummings. At the other forward, rank number 40 at 6'6" from Memphis State, Sylvester Gray. Starting at center, rank number 4 at 6'11.5" from Syracuse, Rony Seikaly. At one guard, rank number 21 at 6'3" from DePaul, Kevin Edwards. And the other guard, rank number 2 at 6'2" from Villanova, Rory Sparrow. The head coach of the Heat is Ron Rothstein. His assistants are Dave Wall and Tony Fiorentino. The trainer is Ron Culp. Tonight's officials is assigned by the NBA Earl Scott.
Okay, so there you see Ron Rothstein, who is the new head coach here for the Miami Heat. He was the assistant at the Detroit Pistons last year. Our officials tonight, well, we've got the veterans, Earl Strom and Bernie Fryer, along with Joe Borgia. So it's Strom, Fryer, and Borgia, your officials for tonight. Team comparisons going in. One thing interesting to note as you look at the team comparisons, the Rockets have made 30 or more free throws in 3 of the first 4 games, and in fact, the Rockets have shot 162 free throws to only 90 for the opponent. So that shows you the Rockets are doing a good job of getting in that lane and using power basketball. And there we see the matchups. It'll be Seikaly, who's a little undersized, Tom Masalki, going against the veteran Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, there's going to be a tremendous advantage at the center spot. Not only undersized, but under ability, too, really.
Rory Sparrow was on the line, so Houston will get the ball to start the game and also to start the 4th period. The Rockets, of course, wearing their red road uniforms. Miami Heat in the white. Buck Johnson and Sylvester Gray. Otis Thorpe. Olajuwon with his first rebound, takes it back up, and a foul is whistled. Nope. Well, Fryer was going to call a foul, but Earl Strom said jump ball.
Bill, they've got kind of an interesting lineup in. They've got a couple of veterans, Cummings, Sparrow, and then they've got 3 young kids, Seikaly, Edwards, and the Sylvester Gay from Memphis State, who dropped out of school, is really going to be a good player.
Sleepy Floyd. Back to Otis Thorpe. New shot clock. Olajuwon. Seikaly with good defense, but Buck Johnson knifed in for 2. I think you might get a good game out of Buck. He didn't play a lot of minutes last night, Tom, so he should be fresh.
Yes, he struggled a little bit, and this could get him off to the good start.
Seikaly will go right down to Sylvester Gray. Great body for a rookie. Rory Sparrow, the veteran, he was at New York and Chicago last year. Olajuwon saves it. Emphatically did he save it. Otis trying to post up on Cummings. That should be a real physical matchup. Thorpe coming off a very physical game against Karl Malone last night. Floyd, he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Nice move by Sleepy Floyd, who is really beginning to take charge of this team.
Well, that's right. You know, in the last several games, including the last game of the exhibition season, he probably has taken maybe 3 bad shots. The rest of the time, they've all been good shots under control. He's really run the offense.
I think he had his best overall game last night. 19 points, 8 assists. He was 8 of 14 from the field, and also had 8 rebounds. So the Rockets jump out to an early lead. Kevin Edwards, the youngster out of DePaul, passes it into Cummings. Seikaly. Olajuwon going for the steal. Cummings, a good outside shooter. Sylvester Gray. Edwards. Kevin Edwards was the youngster they picked up after they drafted Seikaly, and they went down to Olajuwon, and they got Seikaly reaching.
Edwards really did well in the summer basketball camps, and people have started, of course, to take notice of him, and he's going to be a key part of their future.
Woodson coming off a pick. He's wide open. That's his shot. Mike Woodson. So the Rockets spreading the scoring around here early. 2 for Buck Johnson, 2 for Sleepy Floyd, and 2 for Woodson. We played just at 2 minutes into the first period. Buck Johnson with a steal. He's got Woodson, who has Floyd. Now Floyd has the drive if he wants it. Goes to Olajuwon instead. He's sandwiched, and it goes.
Sleepy really threaded the needle on that one. That was a great pass. You see it right there at the tail end of it. Made the foul.
Right now, Hakeem Olajuwon is posting some numbers that are mind-boggling. He's almost leading 4 different categories in the NBA. Ron Rothstein wants to call a timeout. The Rockets are off and running at the 9:39 mark. It's Houston 9, Miami 2. All right, now operators are on duty at 627-0600 to take your Rockets season ticket orders, and you get an option on the 1989 NBA All-Star Game, an option on playoff tickets, a free monthly newsletter, and automatic participation on promotional nights. So call 627-0600 for Rockets season tickets. All kinds of scrambling down. Cummings puts it up. Won't go. Tipped up. Seikaly can't get it, and Buck Johnson finally cleared. Woodson, yes.
Mike Woodson.
So the Rockets doing a good job of getting the shot up, getting the points to fall. The Heat had a couple of tough possessions. Edwards out to Sparrow. Won't go. Another miss. The Heat, ice cold. Sleepy Floyd looking to get Otis Thorpe into the game. He does. Back to Buck Johnson, and he travels.
Bill, you know, one thing that teams are not going to give up in the expansion draft is guys that can shoot it, and so you're going to see the expansion teams. They're just not going to have the good shooters. It's as simple as that.
That's a good point. Sparrow, good ball handler, good three-point shooter. Cummings on the outside will go inside, and they'll let Edwards go one-on-one, and a foul is called on Sleepy Floyd.
Because contrary to what John Thompson feels, defense isn't going to do it for you. You better get guys that can shoot it. Then you can work on teaching them to play a little D.
New 24-second shot clock. Edwards. He misses, and Thorpe clears the rebound. Sleepy Floyd on the run. Woodson already clears through the lane. Here comes Thorpe, the trailer. It won't go, but there's the ever-present Olajuwon. He traveled. Well, we call him the dream in Houston, but everywhere else around the NBA, he's a bad dream.
Or a nightmare.
Or a nightmare, right. Seikaly gets the double team, goes to Cummings, and a foul called on Buck Johnson. That's the second team foul on Houston, 3 team fouls on Miami. 7:54 to play in the first quarter. We hope you're enjoying Rockets basketball on 20 Vision. Sylvester Gray. Very impressive looking young man, 6'6", 240 pounds. He's built along the lines of a tight end. Sleepy Floyd to Thorpe. Floyd takes the long distance shot. Buck Johnson knifes up, could not hold on to it, and Olajuwon knocks it out of bounds.
Buck has really done a great job of going to the offensive board. Now he's got a little better matchup for him now too tonight because he's got more of an inside player.
Yeah, last night Thurl Bailey was tough. They just picked Sparrow up, unrestricted free agent. Seikaly from way outside, and that leaves Olajuwon for the rebound, and Hakeem with 4 here in the early going. Steal. Sylvester Gray, and he knocked it out of bounds, and he ends up in the expensive seats. About 4 rows up. Watch this hustle. Robert Falkoff and Eddie Sefko, the Houston reporters, he went right over the top. Buck Johnson, yes. Nice pass by Sleepy Floyd.
And a great pass outside by the big fella.
Sure was. 4 points now for Buck Johnson early. Cummings tried to force it. Olajuwon, the leader in the NBA in steals, with almost 5 a game. Woodson from long range. It's short. Thorpe is right there, however, and the Rockets get a new 24. Buck Johnson, little spin move for 2. Well, Buck Johnson would be an outstanding player for this Miami franchise, wouldn't he?
Yes, and that really is the Buck Johnson that we saw during the exhibition season.
Well, Ron Rothstein wants a 20-second timeout, as it's 15-4 now. The Rockets have done what you want to do, too, Tom. You don't want to let a young team like this jump out on top and get the crowd involved, and the Rockets have come out here strong to start the game.
They definitely have not taken this team lightly. They've come out ready to play.
All right, watch Olajuwon. Just unbelievable quickness for Hakeem. And his numbers are really mind-boggling when you look at what he's done here in the first 4 games of the season.
You know, Bill, he just came up as a player and didn't realize that a 6'10 player isn't supposed to do that kind of thing.
Number 4 in scoring, 31 points. Number 1 rebounding, number 1 in blocks, number 4 in steals. Edwards to Cummings. He likes that shot from the outside. Only problem is he's not hitting it. Sleepy Floyd to Buck Johnson. Oh, the trailer Olajuwon, he's fouled. The oohs and ahs are more for the way Olajuwon runs the court.
We're going to have an opportunity to see him now coming right down the middle. There's very few players in the league that run the court the way he does, much less a 6'10 player.
Free throws good by Olajuwon. 17-4 now. The Rockets leading. 6:04 left to play first quarter. Rory Sparrow out front. Billy Thompson into the game now. Cummings over Thorpe. Pat Cummings with his first bucket of the game, and it's 17-6 Rockets. 5:43 to play. Sparrow matching up with Floyd. Billy Thompson now will be chasing Buck Johnson. Olajuwon gets the double team from Sparrow, and a jump ball is called. Sparrow, the veteran, knows Olajuwon's moves.
Now there's a situation though where Hakeem should have really looked to the weak side because you knew that they were going to double on down on him. He should have looked away and there would have been an open man.
Murray got that over there. Steal. Edwards. Foul is called on Sleepy Floyd. So take a look at a good-looking youngster out of DePaul.
He really does a nice job of carrying the ball to the basket. There's the foul right there.
Yeah, that was a good play. Sleepy says, well, the hand's part of the ball.
Except he didn't have all ball.
Yeah. Kevin Edwards was the first or second player taken by Miami. He was drafted in the first round, the 20th player overall. There's Tim McCormick, who checks in for Houston, and Olajuwon will take a breather. He played a lot of tough minutes last night. Missed by Edwards. This is not a good free throw shooting team. The Heat shooting under 70% as a team from the free throw line. Woodson gets Seikaly up in the air. Misses the shot. Buck Johnson, who is very active tonight. With a rebound, he's fouled.
Bill, they don't have a player really on their ball club. I think John Sunbold, he'll play a little bit later. He's a good shooter. But we'll get an opportunity to see Buck Johnson now going to the offensive board. Great offensive board. The Rockets had 3 players on the board.
He's a quick leaper, no doubt about it. Rockets turning it around. Last night they had an abysmal night from the free throw line. Could have made that an easier game against the Jazz, but tonight the Rockets are perfect. 7 of 7.
I think that game last night was almost a playoff caliber too.
It really was. Jazz and the Rockets always hook it up, play very close games. Edwards, nice bounce pass to Seikaly. 19-9. The Heat now within 10. 3 seconds called on Otis Thorpe. So far for Houston, that's 3 turnovers. Edwards, good job of getting that ball back to Sparrow. I like Edwards has good court sense.
He's really going to be a fine player for them, and they've paired him with an experienced guard, Sparrow, which is going to help them a lot.
Otis Thorpe, a running one-handed, left-handed hook shot. You know, since he's come to the Rockets, he's come up with a few little extra moves he didn't have at Sacramento. That's good coaching. Thorpe rejected Edwards at the basket, but Fryer calls a foul on McCormick.
I think one thing with the big fella out. Now here's the drive right now. Mike took that first fade.
Edwards finished his 2-year career at DePaul with the best field goal percentage ever for a Blue Demon guard, 53%. And they've had a few good ones.
They have. He played with Rod Strickland, so what a backcourt.
Yeah. Edwards has 5 points to lead the Heat. 22. Down for Woodson, trying to post up on Edwards. Still trying. Otis Thorpe back to Sleepy Floyd. 4 on the shot clock. Buck Johnson puts it up, but follows his own miss and then throws it away. That was Grant Long, who just checked into the game, who got the interception. Scott Hastings also in there, so we'll set the lineups for you. Edwards. Thorpe with a rebound. Otis Thorpe with 3 rebounds. Shot inside. It's rejected. Woodson is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot a couple. Foul is called on Grant Long.
You know, Bill, Scott Hastings was the player that called the trainer of his former team at the Hawks and said, hey, I'm really worried down here. The trainer said, what's the story? And he said, I'm the best player they've got. Which isn't quite true, but it's funny anyway.
Well, at the time, he thought he was the best.
That's probably right, yeah.
Sleepy Floyd will come out. Frank Johnson, who's really had some good minutes with the Rockets, had some problems, his wife giving birth to a baby girl just a couple of days ago. So Frank has been in transit from that trade in New Jersey and also going back to take care of his wife. But the minutes he has played for Houston have been very valuable minutes. And there's a foul called on Houston. Scott Hastings will go to the line.
Now we'll see what kind of position. There's a good pass. Wow, I thought he had position.
Which is like it was charging to me. But they're not going to listen to us anyway. Both teams in the penalty now. Hastings in the game a couple of nights ago in San Antonio saw 20 minutes of action for Miami. He was acquired in the expansion draft from Atlanta. Now it's 23-15. Rocket lead is 8. Trapping defense. That leaves Buck Johnson wide open. And Buck Johnson has 10 points. He leads all scorers for Houston. Rockets up by 10. Taylor on the run. On a miss. Thorpe with another rebound to Frank Johnson. Frankie pushes it up in a hurry. Otis Thorpe on the run. Nothing there. And Billy Thompson with a rebound. Long is open underneath. Grant Long for 2. Don Chaney up. He wants a timeout. 2:23 left to play in the first period. The Rockets lead the Heat by 8 on 20 Vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Heat band ready to run.
20 Vision and a tonic will be giving away a pair of Hakeem the Dream basketball shoes during each At the Buzzer post-game show during the regular season. Send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to 20 Vision E-Tonic, Post Office Box 20202, Houston, Texas 77225. The contest begins November the 4th, or has begun. Save. Bernard Thompson out of the game. And pass. Billy Thompson.
This is going to be a very important possession this time, Bill. They want to either score or get fouled here. Hakeem now will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Now there's the foul right there, and it'll be interesting to see if the Rockets, after the free throw, go into some kind of trap. I'd like to see how Miami reacts against that. The Rockets have been a pretty good trapping team.
This lineup, the second five that Ron Rothstein has put into the game, has been quite effective, pressing a little more Tom and a lot more active a team. Anthony Taylor is also into the game, and Pearl Washington will now be at point guard. Washington taken in that expansion draft from New Jersey. Turnover, McCormick gets it at the 125 mark. We have 125 left to play, first quarter. Derek Chivas from the baseline, just a little off target. Olajuwon with another rebound. Thompson goes down to McCormick. Lays it up. Chivas, he misses. Olajuwon, he takes it up and he's fouled. Or the tenacity of Houston, just too much strength inside early for the Rockets.
You know, the one thing with McCormick, and I know that Don Chaney is thinking about that, they've got to find some kind of a dimension for him offensively to see what kind of an offensive player he is, because he really hasn't fit into that part of it as yet.
Ball's in play, one, got to be his hand.
He's done a good job at the defensive end, also as a rebounder. but just has not found his niche offensively.
Olajuwon now with 9 points, and the Rockets are a perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line. We are under a minute left to play, first quarter. Another turnover for the Heat. Olajuwon, Frank Johnson. Taylor will bring it up. Pearl Washington knocked around, and it'll be Houston's basketball. Bernard Thompson did a good job of getting a hand in there.
Now Don Chaney's signaling a set play. They need to come down and run something and just get a basket off their half-court offense.
37 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 29-19, Rockets leading it by 10. Chivas trying to post up on Billy Thompson inside. Olajuwon with Hastings all over him. Thompson and Taylor on the matchup. McCormick takes it inside for 2. Nice move by McCormick, who's still feeling his way, Tom, trying to fit into this lineup. There's the time we have remaining. 12 seconds.
I'd let him take the outside jump there. If he makes it, he makes it. That's all right.
Olajuwon with a rebound. And Hakeem with a brilliant first quarter. 8 rebounds and 9 points for Olajuwon. And the Rockets, after the first 12 minutes of play, lead 31-19 over the expansion Miami Heat. Hi, everybody. Bill Worrell along with Tom Naselke. We welcome you to the Miami Arena. A good first quarter for the Houston Rockets. 31-19 over the Miami Heat. Hakeem Olajuwon with 9 points. Buck Johnson with an excellent first period. He had 10. Woodson with 6. McCormick with 2. Thorpe with 2. And Sleepy Floyd with 2. Olajuwon also with 8 rebounds to go along with the 9 points. Earl Washington out front. Billy Thompson, nice move, and a foul called on Olajuwon for reaching in. That's the first foul on Hakeem.
And that really was a foul that he was drawn into because there was a breakdown on the outside defense. Thompson really took Derek that last time and forced the foul on Hakeem.
Tom, here's a young man, Billy Thompson. They predicted some great things for him coming out of Louisville, but he's in his 3rd year now, and he's still only averaging about 6 points a game.
I can remember Darrell Griffith telling me about him when he went to Louisville, and they expected he'd maybe be one of their greatest players of all time, but he just never quite got there.
The trapping defense again by the Heat. Chivas draws the foul as he usually does.
Now the Heat does a lot of this. I talked to Rudy Tomjanovich before the game, and he said that they'll get into the game a little bit, play some half-court defense, and then they'll really start to run a lot of different traps, pressures really to make you use up time rather than trying to get the ball. One of the reasons the Rockets have been to the free throw line 75 times more than the opponent is this young man right here. He draws a lot of fouls, and of course with the addition of power forward Otis Thorpe to the lineup, the Rockets are just getting to the line a lot more times. 33-20, Rockets lead up to 13 points. Almost a steal for Olajuwon and a whistle, and Hakeem with his 2nd personal foul. Scott Hastings, a young man out of Arkansas, played at Atlanta. Hastings works it around to Billy Thompson. He'll work over Chivas for 2. That was a nice move by Thompson on the baseline. Thompson with 3 points. Frank Johnson comes away with it. Going to be short on the shot. Right to McCormick for 2. Tim McCormick had good inside position. That rebound came right to him. McCormick off the bench with 4 points. Another turnover for the Heat. That's 7 turnovers for Miami, 7 for Houston. Otis Thorpe will check into the game. And Olajuwon goes out. Ron Rothstein shaking his head. He
expects it to be a long season. Tom, you could tell him it might be longer than that.
It's going to be a very long season. And unfortunately, with an expansion club, he might not be the coach that's there when it gets to be good.
That's what's tough. Otis Thorpe. Bernard Thompson really had some quality minutes last night. When Darrell Griffith was hot from the field, Don Chaney put him in the second half, and Thompson played just an excellent ball game. 10:19 left to play, second quarter. 15-point Houston lead. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody better take it. Thompson over Chivas. Good defense by Houston, and Chivas is bowled over by Thompson. No whistle. And Long comes up with it, gets it back to Dwayne Washington. Taylor from the outside.
He's a pretty good shooter. I saw him at Oregon State this last year, and he can score. He was all Pac-10. Good basketball.
He made the final cut at Atlanta, didn't he? Whistle inside, and here comes the substitution now as Rony, Seikaly, and Cummings will check back in. Hastings and Long go out. 2 team fouls apiece with 9:42 left in the second period. Chivas looking for a little hole in the defense, has it blocked, puts it right back up. Boy, when Chivas gets his eye on the bucket, almost impossible to stop. He'll get a foul, a bucket, he'll do something. 4 points for Chivas. Taylor. Frank Johnson will come away with a rebound. Thorpe really got it. Chivas one-on-one. Thorpe. They'll go right into McCormick. Little jump hook. And Seikaly gets it out to Dwayne the Pearl Washington. Thorpe, nice pass. I'll tell you, this has really helped Tim getting these extra minutes this first half. It really has helped him. And Tom, what about Frank Johnson moving that ball around? He's doing an excellent job. And once he gets a couple baskets, that's all it's going to take for him. He has played well. Played well last night. 41-26 now. Rockets leading. Long shot by Thompson, and Johnson with a rebound. That's 3 rebounds for Johnson. Here he comes, pushes it up in a hurry. Bernard goes to Otis. Tim McCormick, blocked by Seikaly. Washington, fast break. Thompson almost threw it away, but Pearl saved it. Pearl Washington for 2 more. 4 points for Washington. 8:06 left to play in the second quarter. 41-28, Houston. McCormick trying to post up on Seikaly. Chivas takes it in, and it's good, won't count. Chivas called for an offensive foul.
This is a good substitution here. Chaney has got Sleep back in the game. Frank just ran out of gas just a little bit, but that's all right. He played well. He's got Sleep rested, ready to go. 7:53 left in the second period. Dwayne Washington, former #1 draft choice. Long outside shot. Won't go by Taylor. Quick pass to Chivas. Working on Cummings. Draws the foul and gets the bucket. Boy, we have seen it all season long. And you know, Tom Yaselke, with Danny Manning holding out, you could be looking at your Rookie of the Year this year. He should have a good shot at it. And this is the reason why when you're a driver, I mean, you're going to get some charges and you're going to look bad at times, but you have to keep going to the hole, and it just paid off for him.
He misses the free throw. That's one area he'll need to work on just a little bit. The Rockets, that's the first free throw the Rockets have missed. 15 of 16 from the 32 left to play. Miami with a timeout. The Rockets lead 44-28 on 20 Vision. Tomorrow at noon, Southwest Conference football action heats up when the Texas Longhorns take the field against the TCU Horned Frogs. Tomorrow on 20 Vision. 43-28, 7:32 left to play in the first half. The Rockets jumped out on top, led by as many as 15 points. Rory Sparrow back in now. He and Floyd will match up. Edwards right off his foot, but fortunately Sparrow was standing right there. Has to put up a fourth shot with 4 seconds to go, and Sleepy will go right by Rory Sparrow. All the way, gives it off to Chivas for two. Boy, what a great job of filling the lane by Chivas, and Floyd got him the basketball. Sylvester Gray. Steal. And a foul, loose ball called on Sleepy Floyd. Pretty good job that time by Sparrow.
Sparrow's done that, though, and he was at New York, as you remember. He would do a good job with their pressing defense. Pretty good defensive player. But he's down in good position there and just strips him.
Live action, Kevin Edwards with a jump shot. Edwards with 7 points for Miami. 45-32, Rockets leading it. 6:35, I should say, left to play, first half. Sleepy goes right to Otis Thorpe. He slapped all over the arm, and he's so strong he got the ball up and in anyway.
Just shot right through him, really.
Boy, last night he and Malone had some kind of battle inside. Seikaly can't handle the pass. Rockets have a fast break. Chivas will pull the trigger. Boy, I'll tell you what, 10 points for Derek Chivas off the bench. And you know, Don Chaney, even though some people say start Derek Chivas, you really like his firepower coming off the bench. And Buck Johnson has 10 points tonight, too. So that's 20 points from the small forward position as we take a timeout. 5:59 left to play in the first half. Join us at halftime for a complete wrap-up of the first half, and I'll also have scores from around the league, and we'll also have another 20 Vision feature. It's an interview with NBA Commissioner David Stern. Don Chaney will be along to analyze the first half, so stay with us for your halftime entertainment right here on 20 Vision. Rockets leading at 49-32 with 5:50 left to play first half. Cummings down low. Passes it off to Edwards. Seikaly.
Bill, I think that's his first basket, isn't it?
No, it's, 4 points for Seikaly. He's got a couple. But you're right, he hasn't had the opportunity to shoot very much, Tom. McCormick, nothing there. Gets back out of the lane wisely. Shot clock down to 8. Otis Thorpe puts it up. Rory Sparrow will bring it up. Rockets lead by 15. Pat Cummings is fouled. It won't go, but Pat will go to the line. Well, here's a salty old veteran, isn't he? And I'll tell you what, he hasn't really been with any good teams to speak of. He was with the Dallas expansion team, not a very good New York team, and not a very good Milwaukee team.
That's right. No, he's never had an opportunity, and he's a pretty good player. He would be a nice backup guy on a good team.
You know, before he had all those foot miseries, Tom, several seasons ago, he was a pretty productive power guy inside.
He's got a good face-up shot, and he comes to play hard every night. That's the thing.
Well, he missed both free throws, and McCormick gets the rebound. So the Rockets still lead by 15 at the 5-minute mark. Frank Johnson running the show now. Chivas remains in. Woodson in the backcourt along with Johnson. Thorpe gets the double team. That leaves Woodson open from his spot. He missed it. Sparrow will push it up. Nice move by Sylvester Gray.
He's got star quality. Rudy was probably more impressed with him than anyone they've got.
Derek Chivas again, and Chivas has 12 points. Buck Johnson has 10, so again, that's 22 points from that small forward position here in the first half for Houston. You'll take that production all year, won't you, Coach?
Sure will.
Edwards working out. Shot clock down to 7. He looked Woodson off that time. Looked like he was going to pass, took the shot instead. That's 9 points now for Edwards. Oh, what a move by Otis Thorpe baseline. The big guy has 6 points. 53-38 Houston. Seikaly picks off Woodson. That leaves Sparrow open. Ray went for the slam dunk. And it's knocked out of bounds off the leg of Chivas. Well, these young guys are hustling for Miami. The fans have to be appreciative of that.
That's a shot that normally Sparrow doesn't miss. He's a pretty good open shooter.
Rockets now will take a 20-second timeout with 3:37 left to play. Houston leading at 53-38. So far for the Rockets, Olajuwon with 9 points, Thorpe with 6, Buck Johnson with 10, Chivas with 12, and Woodson with 6. So that combination of Buck Johnson starting and Chivas coming off the bench, boy, that is exactly what Don Chaney would like.
Well, they're such different players that gives them a little bit of an advantage. I think that Buck came in tonight playing a lot looser than he did, than he did last night. He was kind of tight on some of the shots. I thought tonight he had some shots. He just took them. He followed through. Good form.
Well, for the first time this season, we're going to see Tony Brown, who's just checked into the lineup for Houston. Chivas will go out. Seikaly. Again, another excellent pass from Kevin Edwards, who has really been moving that basketball around for the Heat tonight.
Tony Brown is a pretty good player. He's a good defensive player, and when he had an opportunity to start some at New Jersey, he scored 11, 12 points a game. He's a good, solid basketball player.
Tony had some foot problems last year, too. Had to miss some of the season. But in talking to some of the folks with New Jersey, he had a very good preseason. There you see some of the crowd in the Miami Arena. The reaction is to the entry of the game for Chuck Nevitt, who just went through your picture. Big number 52, all 7'5" of him. And Otis Thorpe will come out for the final 3:34.
There's probably not many 7'5" retirees down here, and they haven't seen someone that tall before.
Good point. Woodson gives it up to Frank Johnson, takes his man in the air for 2.
And Bill, that's vintage Frank Johnson. I mean, he really has been an excellent shooter through the years. That's going to help him, too.
Tremendous quickness. 55-40, another 15-point lead by the Rockets. Shot clock is down to 7. Seikaly. 2 seconds left on the shot clock when Seikaly put that one in. Brown couldn't hold on to it. Sylvester Gray. .240 left to play. 55-44. Rockets by 11. Seikaly with a rebound. And for the first time in 2 periods, the Heat can cut the lead to a single digit.
You're right. This is the big stop right now. Big stop.
Woodson going for the steal, knocked it out of bounds. 7 seconds left on the shot clock, 2:11 in the half.
Here's a situation, Bill, you should probably switch all over. You don't worry about big or small or who's got it.
Good pass by Seikaly to Rory Sparrow. Frank Johnson at the other end for 2. Little water bug. 4 points for Johnson, 57-46. Rocket lead back to 11. Kevin Edwards drops it off nicely. That was John Shasky blowing the shot. Johnson comes back. Air ball, and it went right to Woodson.
No, that was a pass, I think, wasn't it, Bill?
Well, that's what Brown wants. Tony Brown says, I get an assist. 1:24 to play. Rocket lead back to 13. Going to be a steal. Brown will pick it up. Woodson gets the steal. Woodson travel. That's 12 turnovers by the Rockets, but they are really running tonight, and you can excuse that many turnovers when you get that many layups.
Yeah, when you get that many, you should try to be playing at about 14 turnovers a game, and then you're going to win.
Yeah. 55 seconds left to play in the first half. Holding foul called on Houston. So Tony Brown trying to get his basketball legs under him here. He hasn't played in a while.
I think, if you miss 3 or 4 games, that really hurts your condition, because no matter how hard you run in practice, it's not like playing.
Here's a young man we were talking about earlier. 6'6", 240, Sylvester Gray out of Memphis State. He was drafted in the 2nd round by the Heat. He was the 35th player taken overall, and he really looks like he's going to be a nice player.
Although, Bill, had he not been a hardship, he would have been a first-rounder after senior year.
Frank Johnson got the nice rebound, dished it off. Rockets didn't get the points. And a foul called on Nevitt.
Fouls called on Chuck Nevitt. His first penalty.
Trying to come out of the pack.
Ronnie Seikaly at the line.
So Seikaly will be shooting 1 plus the bonus. The incredible statistic on Seikaly is so far this season he's only hitting 37% from the free throw line. Now, he never was a good free throw shooter at Syracuse, but 37%?
He was about a 58% shooter in college.
Right, 58%. He's shooting 36% from the field and 37% from the line.
But Bill, a guy like Seikaly is playing against better players in practice than he's ever played against in his collegiate career.
Oh, that's true. 37 seconds. It's a 10-point Houston lead. Woodson is open baseline. That's his shot. Mike Woodson with 10 points. 25 seconds left to play. Shasky had it blocked by Nevitt. And a foul is called. So Chuck Nevitt with his 2nd personal.
I'm very familiar with Shasky. He played in the CBA last year, came from Europe and played at Rapid City. He's really a hard worker. It took him a little while. He may still be a prospect. He's 7 feet. Probably goes about 230. Nice young man, hard worker.
Rotation to the free throw. Shasky with 2 points. Rockets lead by 10. 18 seconds left. Frank Johnson has played a lot of minutes in the first half. Acquitted himself nicely. Gets it again to Woodson, the open man. 3-pointer won't go. Tipped up. McCormick is fouled. Nevitt did a good job of playing volleyball with the ball until McCormick could come up with it.
Now, well, this has really helped Nevitt, and of course it's helped McCormick a great deal to get this much time, because he's starting to loosen up a little bit to become a factor offensively.
Foul on Gray. Well, in preseason, McCormick was 45 of 49 from the free throw line, but since coming to the Rockets, he's had problems. Gets 1 out of 2. Rockets lead by 11 with 2 seconds left to play. Edwards put it up, and it won't go. So that's the end of the first half from Miami. About 16,000 on hand, and they're very appreciative of this first half. The Rockets go to the dressing room leading 62-51. Well, in the first half, Houston Rockets getting good scoring from their small forward position, and we are just now getting the first half stats. You got to keep in mind that this is a brand new franchise here in Miami, so everything to start out will be a little slow. So we'll give you the leading scorers first of all for Houston, and it'll be 10 points, 12 points for Derek Chivas off the bench, 10 apiece for Mike Woodson and and Buck Johnson. So that small forward position we talked about, Chivas with 12, Johnson with 10, 22 points. That's very good production. Otis Thorpe with 6, 7 for Tim McCormick off the bench, and 9 points for Hakeem Olajuwon. For Miami, 10 points for Rony Seikaly. He leads all scorers for Miami. 9 points for Sylvester Gray, and 9 for Kevin Edwards. And here we go, the second half of play. The Rockets shooting 54% in the first half to 48% for Miami. Olajuwon almost blocked it. Fast break, Houston. 3-on-1. Floyd's got to get it to the right man. He does. Buck Johnson, he missed the shot, but Otis Thorpe was right there and brings it back out. And Olajuwon is just now entering your picture. Sleepy with a nice fake. Couldn't get it to go, but he alertly followed it up and drew a foul. So a loose ball foul called on Sparrow. That teaches you right there to follow the miss.
Oh, that's exactly right. He does a nice job. It's going to be important for the Rockets to come right out and reestablish themselves here in the second half.
Olajuwon. Seikaly jump ball. Oh, you don't see that very often. I think the big fella may be a little tired.
Yeah, he really had to get after it last night. And
can't do that. You can't grab your own jump. So it will be Miami's ball. Seikaly tipped it. He tipped it right to Olajuwon. I don't think anybody really... You can't find any referees that can really make that toss very well. Of course, you're talking about 5'11" guys tipping it up for 7-footers. Just underway here in the third quarter. Seikaly saves it. The shot clock is down to 6. Sparrow puts it up. Olajuwon made him change his shot with just the threat of a block. Buck Johnson's got Sleepy all alone baseline from 16. Ball movement by Houston.
That's big basket for him, Bill. Let's get reestablished here.
Rockets by 13.
I got the wood.
Shasky down low. Thorpe all over him. Woodson knocks it out of bounds. Nice play by Jim Foley on the radio side. Good hands.
Jim's always had good hands. Good athlete.
Sparrow. Little follower. Nice move by Rory Sparrow, and he has 6 points. Buck Johnson goes right into Otis Thorpe. Tries to muscle it up, can't do it. Shasky saves it. Sparrow. Seikaly. Kevin Edwards. Again, good vision, good pass by Edwards. And the Rocket lead is down to 9. Woodson. Off the shoulder of Olajuwon. Out hustles. Oh, he walked all over the play. But he gets the bucket, and the Rocket lead is down to 7. Olajuwon getting the double treatment. Otis Thorpe. Oh, Olajuwon. Offensive goaltending call by Earl Strong. What a super move by Hakeem, and it's not allowed.
The Rocket, right here, there's no way that Shasky can handle Thorpe, and I think they need to work on him a little bit the next time they get the ball.
Sylvester Gray on Buck Johnson. Turnaround won't go, and Olajuwon with a big rebound. That's number 11 for Hakeem. Sleepy Floyd. Through heavy traffic. Off the foot of Sparrow. Rockets are in disarray, and I think Don Chaney needs a timeout. He'll take it. 8:38 left to play in the third quarter. And the Miami Heat giving their fans something to cheer about as they trail by 7. Join the crowd and get those Houston Rockets season tickets. Operators are on duty right now to take your call. 627-0600. You'll get an option on tickets to the '89 NBA All-Star Game, an option on playoff tickets, a free monthly newsletter, and automatic participation on promotional nights. So get on the phone and dial 627-0600 for Houston Rockets season tickets. Well, he's got a play he designed in that timeout, I'm sure, and may have number 34 on it. From way outside.
I'd say, in all honesty, that wasn't the play that he designed.
From the look on Don Chaney's face right next to me, that was not the play he designed. It's one of those plays, Tom, when you're a coach, you go, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Mike Woodson calls for the foul. That's his first and the team first in this half, in this quarter. Or second team foul on the Rockets. Rockets by 9. Shasky puts it up, tips it in. John Shasky with an excellent second effort, and he was being sandwiched by Thorpe and Olajuwon. 7:53 left to play in the third. Rockets up by 7. To go down to Otis Thorpe on Shasky. Otis gets a double team. That leaves Sleepy open from the outside. He cans it. Now that's what they have to do, Tom.
That's right, because it was a double down situation, and Thorpe did a good job of looking for the open man.
Kevin Edwards all over the place. Seikaly has it stolen by Olajuwon and picked up by Houston. Woodson on the fast break. Floyd baseline. Sleepy looking. Buck Johnson goaltending called on Seikaly. Good ball movement by Houston. I think Seikaly got the hand on it.
Yeah, that was
a little late. 70-59 and a 20-second timeout taken by Ron Rothstein.
You know, Bill, you remember Neil Wall.
Sure.
Now, Seikaly kind of reminds me a little bit. I mean, he's a clever player, but he's got that disease. He doesn't, he doesn't jump very well. But one thing that Neil always felt that basketball should be judged like the ballet. When I was with the Bucks, it was either Neil Walk or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar pick.
That's what I mean. He was the heads, right?
he was the, and so when we decided, well, we better go with Kareem, Phoenix took, that was, quite a disparity, but one of his first things is, I think basketball should be judged just like the ballet. You just go and enjoy the body movement.
Yeah, well, tell that to some of those big guys in the lane. Houston denying the basketball, almost a turnover. Billy Thompson in the game now. So it'll be Thompson and Seikaly along the front line with Shasky. Edwards will remain outside. They feed Seikaly. Thorpe did a good job of trying to save the basketball. Are they going to give him a new shot clock? I guess so. So 24 new seconds. But good defense by Houston. Almost again a 5-second violation. Kevin Edwards, the Rockets have really picked up their defense at the point of the ball. 6:48 left to play in the quarter. Thompson. Turnaround. Billy Thompson with 5 points. And the Rockets lead by 9. Looking down low for the Dream. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Bill, I think right now, which it looks like they're going to do, they just got to keep drilling it inside, because there's no way that Shasky and Seikaly can handle Hakeem and Otis Thorpe.
You know what? It's hard to tell a young man like a Seikaly, and I'm sure Billy Thompson, after watching Hakeem with the Lakers for so many years, a couple of years when he was over there, you can stop Hakeem every now and then, but he gets stronger as the game goes on, Tom.
Well, that's right. He's just got the rare blend of strength and quickness, and not many people have both of them.
When he comes to the party, he stays all night. 18 for 20 from the free throw line now for the Rockets, and Olajuwon has 13 points. Thompson inside, blocked by Olajuwon. Oh my goodness, now that's the real Miami Vice. Inside to Thorpe for 2. Good pass by Woodson.
Bill, as you mentioned, that was a sensational. I hope we can talk about that a little bit later. What Hakeem did in that last sequence.
Sparrow to Thompson, looking for Shasky. They don't want him to have the ball. Seikaly walked again, nothing called. Olajuwon knocked it away to Thorpe. Sparrow takes it away. Quickness of Olajuwon. Seikaly lays it up. A little too short. Now Olajuwon still underneath. Buck Johnson to Hakeem. Went for the dunk and missed it. Tries to keep it alive. Thompson out of the pack to Sparrow. I think Olajuwon beginning to get a little tired. Edwards on the miss. Billy Thompson with a bucket. Rocket lead at 11 again. Under 5 minutes to play in the third. This has really been a pretty good game. Buck Johnson from 20 feet. Buckaroo for 2, and that's 14 points for Buck Johnson tonight.
Bill, that might be as big a shot as he's hit all year, because Hakeem is really winded now. He needed a hoop there.
Plus, Rothstein's really got him playing that sagging man-to-man, so the 16, 17-foot shot is open for Houston. Sparrow with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Seikaly forces it up. There's Otis Thorpe. Long pass to Sleepy Floyd. He's fouled. It goes. Oh, what a rebounded pass by the big fellow Otis Thorpe.
Well, great rebound and pass, but a great drive by Sleep, because he had a leaping guard going after that shot. Tremendous job of changing direction in midair.
Floyd, one of the best when he makes that drive down the lane. Now Pearl Washington will check in for Sparrow. Cummings will come into the game. Here's Ben. And Sleepy Floyd will try to complete the three-point play. Sleepy now has 7 assists to go along with his 9 points. Washington and Bernard Thompson. That'll be an interesting matchup. Cummings gets the trap. Thompson is tripped out front. Bernard Thompson called for the foul.
Yeah, that situation was all right. They're not in foul trouble, so.
Yeah, that's 3 team fouls on the Rockets and 3 on the Heat with 4 minutes left to play, so that both teams with a couple to give up. McCormick is matched up with Hastings. Otis Thorpe is matched up with Cummings, and they're going one-on-one down low right now. Pearl Washington from the outside. McCormick did a good job of getting the position on Hastings. There's Thorpe running the court. Johnson rebounds, and a loose ball foul is called. Yeah, and I think Buck Johnson's the beneficiary of this call. They're going to call it on Hastings.
Buck is just playing a lot looser tonight than I've ever seen him play, other than the exhibition. You know, the first, once we've gotten in the regular season, he's kind of tightened up a little bit.
Tommy's such a great leaper, too. Oh, look at that turnaround move. Buck Johnson left Hastings with something around his knees. 81-63 now. The Rockets have moved out to an 18-point lead. Miami had gotten it down to 7. Billy Thompson from the outside. 9 points for Thompson. 3:05 left to play. Knocked out of bounds by Thompson. Still 17 seconds on the shot clock. And Anthony Taylor will come into the game now for Miami, and Sparrow will go out. Taylor and Washington in the backcourt for the Heat. Sleepy. Oh, what a great play. That's vintage Sleepy Floyd. Felt a little body contact, got the shot off.
And in all honesty, vintage Earl Washington defense.
Offensive foul is called on Cummings. Timeout charged on the court. 2:46 left to play in the third quarter. The Heat got within 7, but the Heat is on now, Rocket style, and they've increased the lead to 18. It's an afternoon with the Brat Pack. Sunday beginning at 2 with Judd Nelson as a street kid hired to pose as a college preppy and making the grade. Well, I'll tell you somebody who can make the grade and who certainly has the last couple of nights, Sleepy Floyd. He thought he might get a whistle, so he did the smart thing, went ahead and put up the continuation. He didn't get the call, but he got the 2 points. This is the jumper. It's tipped back outside to Sleepy, all the way to Derek Chivas. And it doesn't take him long to get noticed.
Great pass, so great vision by Sleep all the way across in that skip pass.
Chivas with 14 points. Anthony Taylor. Washington had it almost caught by Olajuwon. Sleepy Floyd. Offensive foul called on Eric.
Offensive foul on Sleepy Floyd. Here's Thorpe.
Yeah, we get the situation right here now. He finds the gap. Got the left arm out the last moment.
Nice move, though.
Foul. Yeah, great move.
They'll call it every now and then. Sometimes they won't. Earl Washington. Olajuwon with another rebound. And that's 11 for Hakeem. Steal. Washington. But he's got Olajuwon back, and he wisely waits for help. Cummings. Back outside. Anthony Taylor. Taylor with 4 points. 1:25 left to play in the third quarter. Rockets by 18 again. Chivas baseline. Goes in and out, and here comes Wayne Washington. Anthony Taylor with a couple of long-range bombs.
He's a legitimate shooter, though.
Here we go into the final minute. Two-man game. Floyd and Olajuwon. Passes it inside. And a jump ball is called. And Sleepy looks like he may have caught an elbow.
We will get an opportunity to see it right here. I can just see, I think he got either got right there, hitting the head with an elbow.
So it'll be a 20-second timeout by the Rockets. Ray Melchiori, Rockets trainer, will go down and take a look at Sleepy Floyd. And the rest of the Rockets will huddle with Don Chaney, along with Carol Dawson and Rudy Tomjanovich, the Rockets Brain Trust.
Now we'll get a chance to look at the Sleepy Floyd hit with a different angle. Let's take a look right here. Oh, the head, it looked like it hit.
Yeah. It hit his head in that exchange. So we'll have a jump ball when we get back out on the floor. But Miami had closed within 7, Tom, and then the Rockets came storming back. Olajuwon really took over. Now he has 4 blocks tonight to go along with 11 rebounds and 13 points. But again, I reiterate, the small forward position, 16 points for Buck Johnson, 14 for Derek Chivas, so that's 30 points out of that position tonight for Don Chaney, and that would make him smile.
Doesn't make any coach smile.
Here comes the Heat. Anthony Taylor put it up and missed. And it'll be Miami's ball with 30 seconds left to play off the hands of Olajuwon. And here comes Frank Johnson back into the game. Sleepy Floyd will take a rest.
No, Bill, Miami's going to beat some people down here just because they play hard.
Thompson with 11. 15 seconds now left to play in the period. Rockets will go for the final shot. Down to 2 seconds. Bernard Thompson puts it up. And Olajuwon goes down hard. Let's see. Yeah, that's good news. He's up and he's okay. And that's the end of the third quarter. So Miami makes a run at Houston. Houston runs back. And we head for the final 12 minutes of play. The Rockets 85, the Heat 71. The Rockets with that big first quarter, 31-19. Then the Heat winning the battle of the second quarter. The Rockets outscoring Miami by 3 in the third, and thus go into the final 12 minutes leading by 14 points. As I mentioned a little earlier, I'll mention it again in case someone's tuning in late. Alan Level not playing tonight. He still has a sore hamstring, so he's on the bench for the second night in a row. But Olajuwon puts it up and in, and the Rockets now go up by 16. Olajuwon with 15 points. But I think Frank Johnson's done a good job of filling in for Level while he's been gone.
Well, he's come in and played under control, and as he gets in, used to the offense, he'll start to hit some shots.
Shot clock is down to 6, so they go to Cummings. Well, that's a tough deal to have to shoot over Olajuwon with only 4 seconds on the shot clock. You got to know you're going to get it blocked. Olajuwon inside. Great pass by Bernard Thompson. Hakeem with 17. Rockets by 18 points. Grabbing foul called on Olajuwon. And that's number 3.
Bill, you've been telling me this ever since we've been doing the games, what a great player Hakeem is. I knew he was terrific, but I had no idea that he could do this many things.
Talking to John Stockton last night, talking about how he took the ball back away from him a couple of times, didn't realize his quickness. A foul called on Chivas, and that's number 2 on Derek Chivas, and a second team foul on the Rockets.
Thing that I like about Derek on defense, he doesn't respect the pick. I mean, if somebody picks him, he's going to go right through it. Consequently, he doesn't get picked very much.
Wayne Washington with a bucket. Let's see, that's points 5 and 6 for Washington. Frank Johnson. Now he'll shoot it over Washington and returns the favor. He says, don't do that to me, right back in your face. Johnson shooting a lot better tonight, 6 points.
Well, because he's got more playing time and he's just a little more familiar with what they're trying to do.
Rockets by 18. Hastings goes right by McCormick baseline. 91-75, Rockets leading. Oh, what a move by Frank Johnson, and a steal by Olajuwon, and boom, 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 just like that. Everybody's going, what happened?
Who is that number 34?
I think they've got a pretty good idea by now. 19 points for Olajuwon. Well, watch the Frankie and Hakeem show here.
Great layup, tremendous body control. And here's the shortstop right now.
Now Hastings ought to know better. He got it blocked. Olajuwon. Taylor steals it back from Johnson. Blocked by Olajuwon again. And this time they call him for his 4th personal foul. Well, let me give you some unofficial figures on Olajuwon right now. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals, and 5 block shots. Unbelievable.
This is a good time now. Don just took him out of the ball game. That was a terrific substitution.
Otis Thorpe will check in now for Olajuwon. Well, our statistician tonight is Roy Kival. A lot of folks will remember Roy from down in the Houston days. He's in Miami now, and we got you on camera just a moment ago, Roy. Say hello to your family, Richie and Artie, watching back in Houston. 9:14 left to play. It's going to be a turnover. Washington will pull the trigger for the Heat. Nice move. Don Chaney wants a timeout. 9:03 left to play. Chaney wants to put this team away. He's calling a timeout. 95-79 Houston. Here's a reminder for all of you fans, our next televised game will be November 23rd when the Rockets take on the Utah Jazz live from the Salt Palace. And Tom, you won't have to fly anywhere for that one.
No, that's right. I'll go about, takes me 10 minutes to get to that game.
Oh, Hastings with a forearm shiver to Chivas. Ooh. But that doesn't bother this rookie at all, does it? Chivas.
I haven't seen anything that bothers him.
Now, if we can just find a way to get him to come out for the post-game interview.
That's right. He's missed two on us. We wanted him.
Well, he's a communications major in Missouri. We got to tell him what that means. 97-79. 8:54 left to play. The Rockets tonight are 21 of 23 from the free throw line. What a great job from the charity stripes. Pearl Washington on the miss. Thompson was standing out of bounds.
Bill, if that wasn't Earl Strom that called that, I'd say I think it's a wrong call. I thought he bounced it off him.
No. Yeah, but he was standing out of bounds when the ball hit him.
Right.
That was a good call by Earl. He still got those good peepers. Kevin Edwards. Thorpe kept it alive. Frank Johnson to Chivas. Chivas on the run. Oh, look at that drive. And Chivas, oh my, that's incidental contact. Oh my goodness.
I mean, you know what's amazing to me? The number of people that passed on him because he doesn't quite fit our mold. I mean, if that doesn't fit anybody's mold, wow.
How does Chivas last that long is what I want to know in the draft. Ray Patterson saying thank you very much for passing on him.
Got to about 15 teams.
Chivas with 18 points tonight. McCormick, nice head fake on Seikaly. What a nice job by Tim McCormick. He put a fake on Seikaly right out of his tennis shoe. And McCormick off the bench with 9 points. So tonight, Tom, we're seeing McCormick, we're seeing Frank Johnson start to ease their way into Don Chaney's system.
Yeah, both of them have come in and really played very good minutes.
Hastings from the outside. Bernard Thompson will clear it out to Frank Johnson. Nice pass inside. And Hastings had no choice but to foul McCormick, so he'll go to the line to shoot a couple. And Chivas will come out. Tony Brown will get some playing time.
Rory, Sparrow, John Chesky return to the lineup of the Heat.
So Hastings will go sit down. Chivas will come out, and it looks like on that last collision, Chivas may have hurt his arm a little bit.
I don't know if it was his arm or his ribs.
Maybe his ribs, it may have been. I don't know. John Sunville checks in now. There's John. A lot of folks remember in his San Antonio Spur days. McCormick in double figures. He now has 11. It's also a good chance for Don Chaney to get some minutes for Tony Brown. That's right. On the final 7-13. Sunville, good shooter. I think he could run that play blindfolded.
Oh, he is a great shooter coming off screens.
103-81. Rockets have charged down now to this 22-point lead with under 6:50 left to play. A little miscommunication between Thompson and Johnson. 16 turnovers now for Houston. Shot clock is down under 6. Somebody got to take it. It's going to be up to Edwards. Gets a step over Brown, short. I think it touched the rim. The shot clock just went off, but I think the ball just grazed the rim, so the Heat will get a new 24.
Tony Brown did a great defensive job out there. Got a hand in his face, made him change his shot a little bit.
Yeah, it hit the rim, Don. 6:18 left to play. Seikaly trying to get in. Oh, McCormick with excellent defense. Came right around Seikaly for the steal. McCormick shows you a little bit of his outside ability now. We've talked about the fact that he can play facing the bucket.
Because he's getting the time, Bill. That's a big, you've got to get that time so you feel comfortable with the shot.
I really like this young Kevin Edwards we've seen tonight. Really a nice player. It's got to be tough to have 3 rookies in that lineup. Alley-oop pass, and it worked. Thorpe got pushed from behind by Shasky. Otis Thorpe keeps battling. Oh, Thorpe puts it up again. He misses, and Seikaly finally clears. Boy, Otis Thorpe is so strong. Seikaly inside. Off the leg of Seikaly, Houston's basketball.
We'll get a look right here in the pass now. Let's see if we can see the push.
Remaining to play. 105-83. Rockets by 22 points. Oh, what a pass. Frank Johnson gets the assist, and Thorpe gets the bucket. Frank Johnson now with 6 assists. Foul's going to be called on Otis Thorpe. Number 3 on Thorpe, and the 4th team foul on the Rockets.
This is a good foul here. When somebody comes into the paint, he's declaring war on you.
Well, you've got to be gun shy against Houston. Even when Olajuwon's not in there, Thorpe can block a shot or two, and McCormick's not too shabby at that end. From 14 feet. Seikaly, and a foul called on Frank Johnson, I think, coming from the baseline.
Tell you, it's going to be interesting to see Seikaly at the end of the year. You know, he really works hard. Whether he's got the tickets to be a center for a team that's going to be a playoff team, I don't know. But he does. He plays harder now than he did in college. I didn't think he got after it very much in college.
You know what? He comes from a great program, too. Jim Boeheim and Syracuse program. So he's played a lot of big games. You just kind of hope that a guy like that, he doesn't lose his confidence. That's a long season, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. You know, and the big thing, the difference in the college and the pro games is that 24 seconds, you have to make your decision just a little bit quicker. And a lot of guys just can't do it.
Yeah. You know, if you had the situation where you could hide him between a Thorpe or an Olajuwon for a little while, that might help him out. I don't know. I like to throw him out there. Go ahead and play him. Woodson. Johnson. Chuck Nevitz in the game now. Otis Thorpe. The foul called on the pass. Edwards started grinning because he's going to learn when he hears that whistle in the future, go ahead and take the shot. That way way he would get a 2-shot foul out.
How would you like to have Edwards and Strickland on your team if you're a college? We better go back and check that DePaul record. That should have been about 24-5.
Joey was okay. Now Chivas will check back into the game, and Woodson will go out. So let's get this young team now that Don Chaney has in there. Johnson, who's going to be in the backcourt here? Johnson and Chivas in the backcourt. Brown, McCormick, and Nevitt.
They'll probably run a lot of 1-4 now, which they're doing.
Going to be Houston's ball. 15 on the shot clock. 4 minutes left to play. Rockets lead at 107-85. Chivas trying to force that pass in a little too tough.
But you know, Bill, another thing about Chivas, he will give the basketball up too.
Yep. Just hasn't been anything he hasn't done so far this year. Nevitt. Oh, that was a sky hook outside of Kareem's ring. Sunville for 3. Now, if he makes a few more of those, they're going to start yelling his name here in Miami.
See, they've got to use him. I mean, he's one of the few guys that can hit that outside shot.
He has 5 points. Just checking into the game a couple of minutes ago. Frankie Johnson from outside. Frank Johnson came with his jumper tonight. 10 points.
Well, Bill, we're going to try to get him after the game to interview him. Sunvold. Nice pass inside to Shasky. That was Grant Long, number 43. Good job of moving the basketball. This is a well-coached young team. Von Russine did a good job at Detroit for Chuck Daly. McCormick with the jumper. 15 points for Tim McCormick, and that was his preseason average. Kevin Edwards forces one up. Chuck Nevitt. Chivas has Tony Brown. Puts it up anyway. Chivas said, hey, I didn't know what to do with it, so I shot it. So Chivas with 20 points. Buck Johnson with 16. And Don Chaney looking over here laughing. What can you say? The precocious rookie from Missouri. Long knocked it out of bounds, and Houston will have it. Miami calls a timeout with 2:11 left to play. The Rockets have their 3rd win well in hand, leading at 113-90. Remember now, the Rockets return home, play Sacramento in the Summit Sunday night, November 13th, and the New York Knicks Tuesday night, the 15th, and then the Miami Heat make their first appearance in Houston on November 17th. Invite you to join everybody at the Summit for those games. If you can't make it, you can watch it on HSE. Offensive foul called on Houston. Chuck Nevitt, his 3rd foul. 2 minutes now left to play. The Rockets have won their 3rd game of the season, so after 2 very disappointing losses, the Rockets have won 3 in a row. And beginning to gel now. Seikaly is fouled, gets it up and in. McCormick called for the foul, and Seikaly took a pop in the mouth. I kind of like what I see. Again, I'm not sure if he's going to be a good enough player down the line, but he's certainly going to be a good enough player to play in the league a long time.
Got some Houstonians here that wanted to say hi to friends back home. Rudy De Leon is here, along with Andy Lucas and Karen Byram. Frank Johnson on the Snowbird. And Frank Johnson has 12. Buck Johnson with 16. Pass break. Frank Johnson behind the back to Chivas. Hey, and it blocked. Cost Frankie an assist. Sunvold. Seikaly still working hard. McCormick out to Johnson. Chivas, heck of a pass, heck of a shot. I don't know how he gets some of those to go in. That's unbelievable. 22 points for Derek Chivas. He had 27 last night. 49 points for Chivas within 24 hours. He might be up. If it wasn't for Hakeem Olajuwon, he'd be up for Player of the Week.
That's right. Billy didn't give the right answers on some of those team psychological tests. That actually blows my mind.
Tom, there were some magazines, basketball magazines, as you look at the scoreboard, that I read this season saying that the Rockets made a mistake drafting Derek Chivas, that he was second round at best. You gotta like the scouting job Rudy Tomjanovich and the Rockets did on that young man. Sunvold with another jumper. He has 7 points. 117 to 95 now. Rockets climb right up there in the Midwest Division. Be about a half a game out after this win tonight. Frank Johnson, who has really done an excellent job at point guard. McCormick on the run. Oh my goodness, Tim McCormick with 17 points. Now Sunvold can sit out there and pop those all night. Here we go, final 14 seconds. Get Tony Brown a bucket. Well, he's going to get to the free throw line at least with 10 seconds left to play.
You know, with a team of non-shooters, which they really have, you've got to find a play. Yeah, Pat Cummings, or you just kind of chatting with somebody.
Oop, another long year. Tony Brown, former All-Southwest Conference at Arkansas, one of the 4 New Jersey Nets acquired in that trade for Joe Barry Carroll. And he gets on the board, 2 points.
And even though that's been a good trade, the full effects won't be known for about a month. Another month, it's going to be a sensational trade.
Sunvold with a 3-pointer. John Sunvold has come off the bench to score 12 points. And Derek Chivas saying good job. The rookie Chivas ended up tonight with